as we gather today, it's sort of appropriate that it's our potluck Sunday, and we hear about what some people argue is the first potluck. And on the surface, I guess you could call that feeding of the 5,000 such a thing. But it's a little bit more than that. It's about what's our focus supposed to be. And many times today when you talk to people, they have a lot of worries. They're worried about where they're going to live, where they're going to have a job or not, what sort of food they might have in front of them, or even if they're even going to have food in front of them. Health insurance. What happens if I get sick and I don't have it? What happens if I get sick and I do have it and can't afford the co-pays? All of these worldly troubles assail us. And the scriptures today tell us not to worry, that God will provide. And it holds up to us this example of feeding 5,000 men. Now, of course, folks, you understand that the crowds that followed Jesus were not all men. So the men came along that are mentioned, but they were the women and the children. So you're talking about really multitudes of people. There's a story that we use in elementary schools. Yes, there is. And that story is, it talks about making soup with a nail. And it's a Russian story, and this traveler arrives at this wealthy widow's home, and she reluctantly lets him spend the night because hospitality is the thing you're supposed to be extending to all visitors. And when he asks for something to eat, well, I only have a crust of bread. He knows this wealthy woman in this house has to have more than a crust of bread. So he says, well, I've got this soup, this nail, and if we make soup with the nail, all sorts of, we'll be able to eat well tonight. So she gets a pot of water boiling, he puts in the nail, and he tastes it, and he said, just needs a little something else. What do you think it needs? He said, it would be great to have some onions. Well, let me go check. And she brings back onions. Well, it would really be good if it had some barley. They go out and she finds barley and keeps adding. And she kept adding from what she had until the soup was very flavorful and they did eat their fill. That's what it's like for us that live in a Christian community. We each have a little something to add to the soup. And in so doing, by contributing a little, we have a lot to share. And that's what happens with our little community. We're small, 9 families only right now. We're down from 23 to 9. But, oh, what we can do. The food pantry is just one example. I can't tell you how many times the pantry mission committee from First Church goes on and on about what we bring to them just once a month. And when they made some needs known the other day, we were able to accommodate those needs, and now there are toothbrushes back there for people that have dental needs. There are school supplies because I asked you all to bring school supplies, and you've done that. Those little efforts ripple out into the community and help others, and help others know that they're loved in God's name. The second reading today asks us to be of one mind and spirit. That means that we work collectively with each other for the benefit of all of us and all of those that we can reach out to. It does not matter about their whether they're a man or they're a woman or their sexual identity or their political affiliations or their race or any of that stuff. We reach out to God's children in his name as he has reached out to us and blessed us. In one mind, of one heart, of one spirit. And so today, as we celebrate this Eucharist, this meal of thanksgiving, where God's grace is given to us through the body of Christ, and we go from here to nourish ourselves with what we've brought together as potluck, and then go from here again out to the wider community, we do so in God's name, bearing with us the knowledge of his love, bearing with us a commitment to serve others in his name, and in so doing, serve him.